Hello, welcome back to The Warm Truth. I'm one of your hosts, Kim.
And I'm Alicia, aka Melly Mel. Hello. Welcome to the Warm Truth.
Yeah, so today we have a guest with us. We'll be starting our friendship panel. So sit back, relax, and hopefully, you can relate to something here. Make sure to leave your comments below, and let's get started.
Yes. And we will introduce our guests. We have Victoria and let her introduce herself to you all. Hey,
Hey,
Vicky.
lady.
Hello.
Is it giving warm and truth and cozy?
Yes.
Yes.
You mentioned um, pennies being tight, right? Finances being a reason why people are, why it's challenging for people to cultivate friendships, right? Because you say, let's go meet up and have a brunch, a coffee, a dinner, a lunch, or whatever. Um, and I know that you and I have talked about this. I saw a trend on TikTok, so I know that it's not just me thinking this. A lot of people are, especially millennials who did not grow up in this Instagram society, right? Most of our 20s was Instagram had, the VSCO filter. It was stupid or whatever. It was not what it is today. And someone said, we've lost the art of couch friends, of going to people's houses and just doing nothing. And I will say that I miss that desperately about Austin,
Yeah.
about Dallas or Austin, wherever I live now.
Somewhere.
Shall I be I be forgetting. But I miss that. I miss literally friends in Dallas that I've had for 20 years. That it could be Friday, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna come over and just bring wine, and usually it's me cooking something, but I don't mind because I like to cook. And let's just hang out and watch literally the Beyonce homecoming video on Netflix. And that would be the activity. It would be just super chill stuff in our house. But that was where we cultivated, like, had the best conversations. And there were no, we just had like, we were all always just very vulnerable. This was different friends, different groups. And I think that is what, as I'm building my friendships now, I miss that part. And I think people are weird about this idea of like inviting people into their home and just having like couch friends. Listen, after about 6 months, I'm like, if you can't be a couch friend, if you can't come to my house and just hang out, and I'm pretty sure I do have a dog, but that that is where I feel like I built the best friendships. I know that, I mean that takes time for someone to be comfortable with someone in their home. I just think if we removed some of the extraness, that we may end up building, better friendships. But maybe that's just my millennial showing these days. I don't know.
And that's true. What you were saying and talking about, that's exactly the thought I was thinking. Like, I'm thinking that back home, even up to this point, when I go home, it's nothing of me like, hey, I'm pulling up to your house.
Exactly.
And now I'm in your house. We're sitting on the floor. I was the floor friend. So I would come in just sitting on your floor, watching TV. We're talking, laughing. One of my friends used to have a wine store across the street from her house. So we would just pull our money together, get our little one bottle of wine, and then, just sit there. And at these times we were cultivating relationships at the time too. So, and we joke with her now husband, and we joke like, oh, you was always at my house, or you was always at my house. But
Right.
those were good times. This is where we all linked and made friendships. Now, going back into the question of us being in adulthood and all the things that we have now, families, children, and people are just really like, hey, this is my house. I don't want people in my house. I do think that comes along with the challenge of cultivating those couch friends, because I do think the best relationships are made that way. But taking that into account, we do need to bring that back. And even if it's just not couch in our house, I mean, I don't know how many times, you all know I love coffee shops. I love the vibes of coffee
Exactly.
shops. That is my thing. I would sit there in hours, and I think just being able to sit there in hours and just talk and laugh, and that, for me, that's like, okay, yes, this is good. This is a friendship, and it doesn't feel forced. I feel good. How do I feel after I leave my friend? That's
Exactly.
one of the things. How do I feel inspired? Do I feel loved? Do I feel seen? And I think that is amazing. I just posted something that said, in your storm, be friends with someone that brings peace or speaks peace
Yes.
instead of chaos into your life. And every time I leave, and not to get sappy, but anytime I walk away from just, I will have the best day, or I could be in pain or whatever, but when I'm with my friends, you guys, I'm like, oh, I left. I'm like, I'm so proud of her. I'm so happy. Oh, I feel so good. Oh, I can't wait to see her again. And it's like, even today, it was like, I am so excited for them. I'm like, me too. But I think, it doesn't have to be in the house, but bring, like you said, Victoria, bring back the couch friends. Have those true, genuine connections. And so.
Okay. We'll go ahead and transition to the next question. So, of course, there's so much going on in the world right now. Unfortunately, the job market, it's just not favorable to people who look like us. So, in this season, how can friends show up better for each other during transitions, whether it's job transitions, relationships, or people kind of going in and out of seasons of healing?
I think that just genuinely showing up for yourself and being authentic and saying what you need, and communicating that can help with the transition. Everything you were saying as far as capacity, I can't do that, or right now I have a lot on my plate. It's fine to say those things.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most important things to say when you realize that someone is there for your corner, because you may realize they do have something that they can pour back into you,
Right.
or vice versa. And I think that is a tool to help with the transition piece. And sometimes it is okay to end friendships. It's okay to say, you know what, not only do I not have the capacity, but I just don't think this is going to work. And that's fine. I don't think people should leave off of just ill will. You just want to see people doing good. And, oh, we had a great run. It sounds like, a relationship. Oh, we had great times and great memories. And I think you'll be great. And I wish you well. But yeah, I just think communication is a huge part in any relationship that you have. And if you just communicate what you need, it will fall in line of anything you need in any type of transition that you have.
I remember right before I moved to Austin, it was a really, really challenging time in my life. I was like loving my job, but also I had reached a point, I think that we all have as Black women, where we're like doing the job of 8,000 people, doing it well, but I had literally reached my capacity. And my capacity is probably someone else's, like they would have already, passed out. It takes a lot for me to say, hi, I need help. And I had flagged this to my bosses. At the same time, my husband had like a flare up in his illness and he was hospitalized. He was also like in between jobs. It was a very, very stressful time. It was also like still the pandemic 2021. And I did not tell people that I was drowning, suffocating. I really didn't say anything. It wasn't until several months later, I think, that I had moved to Austin, where two of my best friends said to me, you should have said something. You expected us, and they aren't even friends. You expected us, this is them talking separately, to know what you were going through, and we could have been there for you. We could have brought you food. And one friend I did say, like, hey, can you bring me Chipotle to the hospital? And she did. But other friends were really frustrated with me. And I had to really take a step back and say, I have no one to blame but myself, because I created this community and I didn't even give them the opportunity to do what they wanted to do. And so when I think it's a combination of 100% to define what you need during the time of transition, and also when someone says it to you, for you to act upon it, right? Because then, like, you're leaving people hanging. They become resentful. Like, well, this is what happens when I open up and I'm vulnerable and I say what I need, and then people don't show up for me. So it's both a combination of one person saying what they need and the other person being able to act on it. And I think that it's not just communication about saying it from the beginning. I think it's, as in whatever way you feel comfortable, keeping people abreast on like how the situation is evolving, right? Because then the needs may change, right? When someone is a new mom, they may just need you to come to their house and fold clothes, cook a dinner, right? Everyone, and then maybe once baby is 6 months old, it's now can you hold them while I go take a shower? Those needs can evolve, but people never ever say what is needed during various seasons. And I think that's, had I said something, I wonder if I had asked for a life raft, if I would not have drowned in the way that I did. And it's definitely been a learning for me. Now I just tell people, for the most part, I am going through this. And I don't expect, I think, new friends to like always be there and like really, really hard things. I just say like, hey, I'm going through this. This may be why I'm a little bit out of pocket, right? Something as simple as like, I have a really busy season for work.
Right.
I am not avoiding anybody. I just literally am gone for 3 weeks out of the month. And when I do come home, I want to spend it with my husband. That does not mean I don't want to be around anybody. But if I communicate that to you and say, hey, let's connect, or I'm free, or I'm back, let's pop up, or whatever, I think it removes, again, like assumptions and so many things about what people need in their seasons.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I definitely think communication is like number one and kind of helping people through seasons. Also, telling your friends, like, you know, I think a lot of times we have a lot of shame surrounding those storms in our lives. And so we kind of go ghost. I used to do that all the time. And so as time went on, I was like, you know, kind of like you, I was like, dang, maybe I do have a support system and I'm not using them because I'm so ashamed. And so I used my support system last year. Some people showed up, some people didn't after my car accident. And it, I mean, I don't want to say it worked, but like, you know, they did what they're supposed to do. Now, maybe they couldn't buy me a new car. Like maybe they couldn't, you know, drive me around, but, you know, they showed up for me, they checked in, and I really appreciated the people who were there because I don't need help a lot. And I wouldn't say that it's hard for me to ask for help. I'm always asking for help. I'm like, ooh, can you get that rice up there? Thanks. You know, but like, you know, when it's things like that, like being vulnerable, especially someone who's like the formerly strong friend or just a friend who really didn't have nothing going on, potentially because I don't have any responsibilities. But yeah, no, my tribe, they showed up and showed out for me, and I'm forever grateful for y'all.
First of all, let's redefine not having anything going on, having responsibilities. I think that is a narrative that people who are single for whatever reason and or childless for whatever reason need to change immediately, because we are negating whatever responsibilities you have in your life. You have a lot going on.
I do. I'm
you have
very
a lot
busy.
that you're cultivating, a lot that you're building.
Yeah.
That requires the same respect as Mel, who has a child and a husband, and me, who has no child and a husband. I cannot say my responsibilities are more important than yours because they are for a living, breathing thing.
I receive it. Thank you.
They're not. And we
that.
must change that narrative, primarily because more people don't have children and may not have a partner. So to say that like all these people are living lives and have all this free time is 1,000% not true.
Yeah.
And
I received that. Thank you.
We need to take ourselves out of, I'm just sitting here thinking about it, and I'm a culprit of it, but we are so used to dealing with stuff on our own.
Yes.
We are Black women. We are always left to deal with stuff on our own, carry heavy burdens, go through life on our own, even having relationships, spouses, husbands, whatever the case may be. We are always there for our own. We are always regulating ourselves, dealing with the hard stuff ourselves, and then going ghost to sit there and then come out bigger, better, stronger. But we do need to stop doing that. We are burning ourselves out. We are the highest rates of stress. Stress turns into diseases. We are having strokes, heart attacks. We are dealing with too much, and we are carrying too much that we do not need to be carrying. And I'm thinking about back in the day, you look at your parents and all these aunties we have, honestly, they were our parents' best friends. They're not our true blood aunties or anything like that. But you think about it, think about the times you may seen your mother cry and auntie showed up, or auntie, they on the phone for 6 hours, you know, and just thinking about those relationships they have. And that's what we need to cultivate. We talk about community is such a light word, but it shouldn't be. Community is literally showing up in your authentic self for one another in any way possible, and not having the expectation of things that someone cannot do. So I just think for us as Black women, we just need to stop that. You see any other race and ethnicity and how they handle things, and they have friends, and how that's depicted,
Yes.
and friends forever and all that. And here we are in our age dealing with stuff by ourselves, and going back to how everyone thinks everything is transactional, what's in it for me. And that's not how we should go into friendships.
Absolutely.
And we just need to kind of just erase that layer and go back to just being our authentic selves in any capacity and with our people. And
I agree. We are coming to the end of today's episode. Do y'all have any lasting words? Any advice for the audience?
again, communicate your needs. Black women, please do that. Communicate your needs, and you do not have to carry the burden yourself. Do not walk through this life handling everything yourself. Just my 2 takeaways.
I would say your village is out there. Your community is out there. Keep trying, keep being intentional, give it time, and show up as your true self, and the right people for you will come.
And I will end this off with saying the truer you are to yourself, the quicker you'll find your tribe.
Yes.
Know what you want, know what you're not putting up with, know your worth, and you will attract those people. You do have to put in a little effort though. But anyway, thanks for joining us on today's episode. Make sure you follow us at The Warm Truth Pod on IG. Make sure you follow me on my personal page at Kim Shell, KIMSHELLE _ on IG. And follow We Walk 2, We Walk, the number 2 _ at ATX on IG.
Yes, all these handles. Also follow me at Don't Miss a Beat _Y and at A Girl and Her Swing. A Girl and Her Swing. A Girl and Her Swing on Instagram. And Victoria, your handle?
You can find me on IG, Victoria Davis, the number 4, or on TikTok, the Victoria Davis.
Yes.
And that's all, folks. Until next time.
Bye. Bye.